Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I am streaming to you from beautiful Budapest here in Central Europe. We're just entering the fall season. I hope everybody has had a great start to their week and you're working hard and staying positive. Hi Kyle, good to see you in class. Students, today we are focusing on the speaking section, specifically IELTS Speaking Part 1. This lesson, the materials, the class is brought to you by our world-class IELTS preparation web portals, aehelp.com for academic IELTS. And if you are looking for help with the general version of the exam, check us out at gieltshelp.com. On both of those sites, we have over 100 hours of video lessons, a fully interactive course with strategies and tips to get higher band scores, and 6 original practice exams with more exams coming soon. Hi, Halima in Pakistan. Hikmatillo, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Again, students, if you have not downloaded our app, look and search for our Shield, type in Academic IELTS Help, download the app. Once you downloaded the app, if you go to the More section, you can actually link your app with the website so that you're studying from the same account. This is the website here. Of course, you can join by clicking the red button. And then if you get the full course through the website, again, you can link the app and access the same materials. We bring you the most advanced online IELTS learning in the world today. This is our general IELTShelp.com website. Again, click that red button to join there, and we'll have the app coming for this site next month. All right, everyone. If you have questions, comments, concerns about the exam or our products, don't be shy. Send me an email. I'm here to help you. Our goal is to help students like you succeed in your IELTS exam. My email is Adrian, A-D-R-I-A-N, at aehelp.com. I put the schedule for the next couple weeks on the YouTube channel for these live classes from October 2nd to the 12th, so please check that out. We have classes today, tomorrow, and on Friday, then no class Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and I'm back on Tuesday, a little bit different in this week, but there are lots of classes coming up. All right, let me get you back on camera here. My camera decided to take a snooze just for a moment. Not a problem. Here we go with today's lesson. All right, so again, today we are focusing on the speaking section, specifically for part 1. And we have some goals for today's lesson. The goal, of course, the main goal, is to get some high band scores. Shahrani, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. I'm feeling good. All right, so today's speaking goals are be specific. So one of the points that the examiners are looking for to give you those higher band scores, like band 7 and 8, is to answer questions specifically. If it sounds like you're just using general answers that you memorized, the examiner cannot give you a score above 6, maybe a 6.5, but definitely not a 7. Hi, Shanghun. Good to see a member in the class as well. So we're going to be focusing today on being specific, giving lots of details. To get those high band scores in the speaking, you must give details. That means give good explanations, use good vocabulary, and provide some nice, smooth flowing examples. All right. And then, of course, we will focus on using complex grammar, present perfect, conditionals, and using our coordinating subordinating, and correlative conjunctions. Students, what are coordinating conjunctions? So what is a coordinating conjunction? Before we get started with the speaking questions, let's just quickly do an overview of these conjunctions. So what are coordinating conjunctions? What are those? Can anybody give me a couple of words that you think are maybe belonging to this group of coordinating conjunctions? Rajveer says they combine two ideas or more. Yeah, Shakrani, that's the mnemonic device. Tell me what those words actually mean. Rajveer, subordinating correlative conjunctions also combine ideas. Shang Hung, those are correlative, not coordinating. Coordinating are and, but you both is not one of them. Okay. Carolina says these are the words and, but, for, nor, so, and yet. Very good, Carolina. So and, but, for, nor, or, so, yet. I believe I have all of them. So this is a closed group. And shows addition, but shows opposition, for shows reason, so shows reason, yet shows opposition, like but, okay, nor shows negative addition. If you didn't quite get what I said there, definitely review your coordinating conjunctions. You need to use these in your speaking effectively to get those high band scores. What are correlative conjunctions? And we always tell students to use these to bump up your band score. So what are these correlative conjunctions? What are those? Rajveer says not only, but also. Yeah, they're the paired conjunctions, right? So not only, but also, neither, nor, either, or, whether, or, both. And so these are the correlative. We use them in pairs. Not only does my sister play the piano, but also my brother. They are used to emphasize, to make your language and your speech sound strong. Native speakers or advanced communicators can use these correlative conjunctions effectively. And definitely your examiners in the speaking will catch that when you use them. So when you use these, they'll go, oh, okay, this student is using correlative conjunctions effectively. Complex language, check. Natural, check. Coherent, check. Emphasizes language, check. Okay, those are really good. All right. Daniela is having problems hearing me. Maybe, Daniela, you need to check your speakers. If anybody else is having trouble hearing me, let me know. Otherwise, it's probably not on my end. All right, students, what are subordinating conjunctions? It's the biggest family, the biggest group. Thank you, Minaj and Usha, for letting me know. What are the subordinating conjunctions? That's the biggest group of conjunctions. It's the biggest family of words that are used to join together ideas and phrases and sentences in writing and in speaking. So Marasa says they're words like although and however. Yeah, so these are divided into basically 4 families. And you definitely need to learn each of these and learn lots of words within each. So one family is one that shows opposition. So opposition is shown by words like however, although, on the other hand. So there are phrases as well that you can use, okay? So that's opposition, and there's lots more. I'm just giving you a few here. One mistake, students, careful about this and remember this. It's a very common mistake. I hear it in speaking and I see it in writing, and it's bad. It's like you're guaranteed to lose a half band score when you do this. Is students will often take a subordinating conjunction like however, and they'll combine it with a coordinating conjunction like but. So they'll go, however, people who drive their cars don't get as much exercise as people who ride their bikes, but they also don't, and you've gone and used the double negative, okay? Don't use double negatives. So if you have a however in the sentence, careful not to also put a but in there, because a double negative, it's like, okay, bad coherence, bad use of natural language, and your score's going down. So careful with those combining, coordinating, and subordinating conjunctions. So opposition is one family, okay? There's also condition. Condition is like if, when, provided that. Okay, there's a few there for you. 3 is cause and effect. Cause and effect is like because, as a result, since. Okay, and the fourth family of subordinating conjunctions. Anybody know what the fourth one? Ah, there's Pachu. Very good. Even before I said it, it's like you're reading my mind, Pachu. You've been in many of these classes. You know me so well. Time, yeah, time. Time is like while, after, that, firstly. Okay, those can, well, firstly, maybe not the best one. Following, okay, since, when. Those are all time subordinating conjunctions, okay? So there's 4 families: opposition, condition, cause, effect, time. And in the speaking, the better you can kind of rotate and use these, the higher your band score, okay? So pay attention for that. All right, students. So again, today's speaking goals: give specific answers, give details, and use complex grammar. Okay. Yes, Marasa. Meanwhile will definitely be a time. Meanwhile and during is another common one. Okay, so you go into your speaking interview. Make sure that you're speaking English before your speaking interview. Very, very important. That can save you a full band score. And you walk into the room, you are greeted by the examiner. Stay calm. It's just another person. They're there to examine you and be as objective as possible. They'll probably say, please take your seat, or you'll just sit down. And then their first question, most likely, will be, may I see your identification, please? Okay, may I see your identification, please? Okay. Kamlesh, you can do a mock speaking interview with me. You can book that through the website. Okay. So Amal says, yes, here it is. Okay, that's a good one. Yes, here it is. Sure, simple, clean, to the point. Okay, can't read the Cyrillic, but the answer is good. Yes, of course, here you are. It's another good answer. It's natural. I like it. Raz, for you, says, sure, here you are. And Shanghung says, certainly, here it is. Please have a look. Notice, students, lots of different ways to respond to that question. Practice different ways before the exam so you sound really natural. Now, in today's class, of course, make sure you repeat me. Okay, repeat, repeat, repeat. So typing in the chat is good, but also use your mouth and say what you hear. Okay? Here we go. So Halima is asking, how do I think quickly and organize ideas in my mind? Halima, it's practice using critical thinking. That's the key. Okay. So next question. What is your full name? What is your full name? Okay. When they have your ID in their hand, they're going to ask you for your full name because they're checking your ID number with your registration paper, and they're checking your name with your registration paper. They're making sure that you are who you say you are and not a doppelganger. The random one says, are we supposed to say my name is or my name is while introducing? Yeah, sure. It's a good way to say it. You should say your full name that's in your passport. So Jafar Siddiq, if your name is Johnny, you should say your full name. Okay, so my name is Johnny Siddiq. Please call me Johnny. Okay. John Swift says, John Swift is my full name. Please refer to me by John. Okay. Parky Wadwa says, my name is Parky and my family name is Wadwa. You can call me Parky. Parky, you should say my given name is Parky in that case. Okay, it's more natural. Faisal Ahmed says, my name is Faisal Hussein. You can call me Faisal. Han5 says, my surname is Tan and my given name is Kwan Lun, as indicated in my ID. Please call me Tan. Okay, so let them know what to call you. Sometimes it's confusing for examiners, especially if they're not from your culture, your country, what they should actually refer to you as. So tell them that, okay? All right. So Amal says, my full name is Amal Bek Sultanov. Please call me just Amal. That's good. That works. Yeah. So my full name is Joseph Andrews, as it is indicated in my passport. Please just call me Joe. All right, repeat after me. What is your full name? My full name is Joseph Andrews. As it is indicated in my passport, please call me Joe. Now, here's a really important tip, students, when you're practicing for the exam. When you practice for the exam, don't just practice saying answers. A lot of students focus too much on just answers and not enough on asking questions. And this goes back to Halima's question. Halima says she had a mock test. She was hesitant. Said a lot of ums. One way to be more fluent and responsive and think quickly, Halima, students, is to practice questions for your speaking as well. So when you're working with partners or in groups or even self-study practice at home, focus on asking questions as well. So get comfortable saying and hearing questions so that your brain sees both sides of that coin, not just the responses, okay? The responses are just half the picture, okay? So this is an important tip. Keep this in mind. When practicing for the speaking section, be sure to give attention and focus to saying and practicing the questions for at least 25 to 30% of the time. Okay? That works really well, all right? So in today's class, when you're repeating me, don't just repeat answers, repeat questions also. Okay? So the examiner will ask you a couple more questions on a general topic to get to know you better. And then they'll ask more for part one. So they'll often ask these icebreaker questions like, where do you live? Okay. Jai Hunt, don't mention initials. Actually say your name. Say what that initial stands for. Okay, so don't say like John P. Andrews. Say John Peter Andrews. Okay, that's a good question. So give me a full sentence for where do you live? Okay. Kyle says, I belong to a small village called Bahini, which is located in Amritsar district, the Golden Temple, that is in the northern part of India. Okay, Kyle, we usually say the name or the number of the district before the word. So 11th district or Amritsar district. It's otherwise it would be district of Amritsar. Okay. Otherwise a nice use of the adjective clause, Kyle, which, showing some complex language. That's good. Okay. John Swift says, I live in England with my family members happily. Okay, John, it's not bad. It's too general. England is an entire country. You could really be living just about anywhere. Marasa says, I live in Islamabad, which is the capital of Pakistan. Furthermore, it's famous due to... don't go down that road, Marasa. Don't tell me why it's famous. I'm not asking you that. I didn't ask you what is your hometown famous for or where you live famous. So don't go off track, Marasa. Okay? Okay, instead, students... when somebody asks you, where do you live, explain the actual shelter or lodging where you live and the location, okay? That gives a lot of clarity for your listeners. So you can say, I live in a 2-bedroom flat on the 5th floor of a high-rise building, which is located in the heart of Budapest in the 13th district. Okay, so again, remember what I asked at the beginning of today's lesson. Focus on giving original answers with a good amount of detail. How do you give an original answer to the question, where do you live? By saying your actual residence. So I live in a 2-bedroom flat on the 5th floor of a high-rise building, which is located in the heart of Budapest in the 13th district. That's a band 9, okay? So again, repeat after me. Where do you live? I live in a 2-bedroom flat on the 5th floor of a high-rise building, which is located in the heart of Budapest in the 13th district. So a nice trick to remember for this question is say the residence and say the location. Be specific. Okay, I live in northern India is not going to be enough. Okay, Abi, I live in Uzbekistan, which is situated in Central Asia. It's awkward. Where in Uzbekistan do you live? That's a big place. Okay. Raaz, for you, says, I live in a 2-story house on the 1st floor, which is located in the city center of Pokhara, Nepal. Very good, Raz, for you. Don't say apartment because you said 2-story house. That's awkward. A high-rise building, Joanne, is not quite a skyscraper, so it's not like 30 or 50 floors. It's maybe like 10, 15 floors. We consider that a high-rise building, okay? So anything that's 5 to 15 floors, Joanne, I don't know what the technical cutoff is, but that's a high-rise building. Once you start getting into the 20, 30, we start to call it a skyscraper. All right. And then another very common question is, do you work or study? Okay. So the examiner at this point will probably pass back your passport. They'll say, here's your passport back. Acknowledge that, say thank you. And then they'll probably say, do you work or study? Faisal says, I'm a student and I'm studying BA in BM College, which is located in Barisal. All right, that works. BA, I would say, Faisal, what it is. So I would say BA in Business Management. It's kind of awkward to say BA in BM, okay? So say BA in Business Management. Juxa, of course you can use gerunds and infinitives in your answer. Mix them up. Sure, why not? Okay. Give me the example of how you want to use the gerund, and I'll let you know. If I can't get to it or don't catch it in the chat, send it to me by email, Juxa. Okay. Let's see. Halima says, I'm currently studying for my AS or A-level exams, but I'm also preparing for IELTS to pursue higher education in Canada. Halima, remember the goal of this lesson. So fine, you're being original because you're telling me that you're doing these studies to continue higher education in Canada, but so you're being specific, but you want to give details, Halima. So what higher education? I'm curious. Okay, tell me. Are you planning to do a master's in business administration, in childhood education, in psychology? So what's your forte? What are you looking to do? Okay, keep these lesson goals in mind, students. All right, let's see what else we have. Kamlesh Kumar, our member, says, I do study. I have lately completed my bachelor's in business. Now I am preparing for my further studies in my dreamland, which is Canada. Okay, Kamlesh, you have a couple of points to fix. First of all, in that response, you say study 1, 2, 3 times. Students, try not to repeat the same word 3, 4 times within 1 or 2 sentences. That's awkward. Native speaker would not do that. So try to paraphrase or phrase differently, okay? And also watch your grammar, Kamlesh. So Kamlesh, it reads much better and sounds much better like this. I do study. I have lately completed my bachelor's in business administration, and now I'm preparing for further examinations so I can travel to my dreamland, which is Canada, okay? Or continue learning in my dreamland, which is Canada. Okay? All right. Let's see. Joanne says, well, actually, I'm doing both. I'm studying English in order to take the IELTS test because it is required for nursing abroad. And also I'm working as a CNA in a nursing home. CNA, Joanne, I'm guessing is a certified nursing assistant or nurse's aide. Okay, certified nurse's aide. Students, careful with your acronyms like BA, BM, CNA. I come across a lot of acronyms, so I'm familiar with them. I know what they might mean. But you have to remember, your examiner is like your grandfather. They don't know exactly what you know. They're not familiar with Facebook. They're not familiar necessarily with acronyms like CNA or MNC or MTech or BTech. And I see a lot of you using those. I highly, highly suggest that you spell those out. So actually say it, okay? Unless it's a very common acronym like ASAP or FYI, but even those, a little bit awkward to use in speech, okay? All right, so definitely this is a good spot, this question, to use a correlative conjunction. So again, repeat after me. Do you work or study? Not only am I working part-time as a cashier in a grocery store, but also I'm studying for this IELTS exam in hopes of continuing my higher education in business management at California State University. Okay, so repeat after me. Notice the detail, notice the specific answer. Do you work or study? Not only am I working part-time as a cashier in a grocery store, but also I'm studying for this IELTS exam in hopes of continuing my higher education in business management at California State University. Okay? Sound natural. Be fluent. Students, these points that we're working on today, so being specific, giving details, using complex grammar, these are important to get those higher bands, especially a perfect band 9. Now, if you haven't yet, just earlier today, I uploaded a new HD speaking video with a candidate from India. His name is Arav, and he gets a score perfect 9. So to see some really good examples of this specific, detailed answering in the speaking section, and the amount of answers, so not too short, not too long, check out that video after this class. So that video is the newest HD video. You'll see that it's a perfect score band 9, and you'll hear Arav's name in the video. Okay. All right. So after you're done these icebreaker questions, then the examiner will say, okay, now I will ask you some more questions on a general topic. Let's talk about fashion. And it might be a little bit gender biased, so women often are more into fashion than men. Not always. Some men are into fashion as well. But it doesn't matter, because both men and women should be able to speak at a basic level clearly about fashion. Okay? So when you hear this introduction, don't start freaking out if fashion's not your thing. Be patient. Okay? These questions are designed so even a band 4 candidate can understand them. Okay? Let's go to the first one. What do you usually wear? What do you usually wear? Okay. Give me a nice, full sentence, specific answer. Kamlesh, she's not from Rajasthan, this student. Satisfying Times says, I love to wear sports clothes like Adidas or Nike because they feel softer and more comfortable in all kinds of weather, as well as they're cheap in price and quite stylish. Okay, Satisfying Times, a couple of corrections there. Not a bad answer. Sports clothes, sure. Faisal says, basically I like to wear casual outfits. Nice paraphrasing, Faisal, with the word outfits. For example, t-shirt, jacket, and jeans. Also, I like to wear our traditional clothes like Punjabi on special events. Okay, good. Nice answer. Good specific answer. This is where, of course, you can use cause and effect, because, since. Okay. Hadi says, I am really into fashion. I'll try to wear both modern and classical clothes. My daily clothes are jeans, t-shirt, and usually a hat. In addition, I like sporting styles or sports styles. Okay. Charlie Sen says, well, usually I wear a shirt and pants, always plural, pants, whenever I want to go outside. Besides that, I wear a t-shirt and Bermuda or pajamas when I'm at home. All right, I'd like to kick back and relax, Charlie. Give me the reason why, students. Give me the reason why you like to wear certain clothes in certain situations, okay? I find that's missing from your answers. Hikmatillo says, with no hesitation, I'm quite keen on wearing stylish t-shirts with trainers as they fit me superbly. Okay, Hikmatillo, with no hesitation, a little bit weird to begin, but I would start with, I'm quite keen on wearing stylish t-shirts. So, yeah, sure, okay. Well, I like to be comfortable most of the time, so I wear sweatpants and a t-shirt usually. However, when I need to be presentable, like for this exam, as you can see, I put on a dress shirt and slacks. All right, there's my answer. Lots of good answers there. Again, I really want to push you to join ideas. Native speakers join their ideas together. So repeat after me. What do you usually wear? Well, I like to be comfortable most of the time, so I wear sweatpants and a t-shirt usually. However, when I need to be presentable, like for this exam, as you can see, I put on a dress shirt and slacks. That's a band 9 answer. Why? Look at all the words used to join. Coordinating conjunctions, so giving a cause and effect, right? I'm comfortable, wear sweatpants, t-shirt. Adverb of frequency, usually, followed by opposition, however, followed by subordinating conjunction of time, when I need to be presentable. Also condition, like for this exam, example, as you can see, reflective example, I put on a dress shirt and slacks. Range of vocabulary. That sentence clearly shows the examiner an expert level of control over the English language. Okay? I know I'm really pushing you, but that's what you need to do. Okay? One more time. What do you usually wear? Well, I like to be comfortable most of the time, so I wear sweatpants and a t-shirt usually. However, when I need to be presentable, like for this exam, as you can see, I put on a dress shirt and slacks. Okay? Slacks are like dress pants or close to, if that's a new word for you. Okay? So it's step up from jeans. Here is the next question. What is your favorite piece of clothing? Give me a nice answer for that one. What is your favorite piece of clothing? What is your favorite piece of clothing? Thara, I'm glad that you're enjoying this video. Make sure to check us out at aehelp.com. We have over 100 hours of video lessons with no advertising, HD. Also, a lot of these pre-recorded lessons in our archives, these live lessons. So, let's see. So Kyle says, as I mentioned before, pants and shirt is frequently worn by me. That is also my favorite clothes. Like last week, I attended a birthday party when I wore this outfit. Okay, Kyle, you missed the question. This is, what is your favorite piece of clothing? That literally means one piece of clothing, okay? Jane Antler says, speaking for myself, I mostly enjoy casual types of outfits. This is your favorite piece of clothing. That means one piece, one article of clothing, okay? Careful, if you talk about clothes in general, Marasa, I love to wear shirts with trousers frequently. Again, it's not the right answer. So here, if you do that, the examiner will say, okay, student did not understand the question. There's actually a little box that did not understand question or answered off topic, and boom, you're losing band scores, okay? Sudhanshu Sharma says, my favorite piece of clothing is kurta pajama because it is a traditional clothes of my culture. Additionally, it suits me really well and it's cheap. Okay, Sudhanshu, that will work. So that sounds like you're talking about one kurta pajama that you own. Okay, that works. All right. Moad says, my favorite piece of clothing is the hat because it makes me look cool and stylish. Moad, not a bad answer. So that's acceptable because you're talking, it sounds like about one hat or the article of clothes, which is the hat for you. So that will work. Just one important correction, Moad. Don't suddenly switch to you. Makes you look cool. I don't know what kind of a hat you're talking about, although I do like hats, Moad, and I have some really nice fedoras that I've collected from around the world. But I'm not sure if I'll look cool in your hat, Moad. So say my favorite piece of clothing is the hat because it makes me look cool and stylish. Okay? That will be much better. All right? Be specific. Zainab says, one of my favorite pieces is a blue dress. Not only do I love its color, but also it is a gift from my dad for my 25th birthday, so it has sentimental value. Zainab, that's a beautiful answer. You just need to correct some of your word choice and grammar. So my most beloved article of clothing is a blue dress I got from my dad for my 25th birthday. Not only do I love it because of its vibrant color, but also due to its sentimental value. Okay? Sentimental value means that there are feelings and memories attached. So it's worth a lot to you because it's connected with feelings and memories. Okay? So one more time, students, what is your favorite piece of clothing? Repeat after me. My most beloved article of clothing is a blue dress I got from my dad for my 25th birthday. Not only do I love it because of its vibrant color, but also because of its sentimental value. Fantastic. Say that, Zainab, and you will get a band 9. Okay, here we go. Next question. Is fashion important in your country? Again, students, give me a nice full sentence answer with good detail using complex grammar. Okay? Juan Pablo says, fashion is important everywhere. Here in Argentina, people pay attention to what someone is wearing in order to know more about their personality. Juan Pablo, that's exactly where you would want to give me an example. Okay, so this guy I came across yesterday was wearing a $5,000 Armani suit, and I was certain he was a successful businessman. Okay, so Juan Pablo, give me an example there, what we know about the personality of someone in Argentina by looking at their clothes. I would love to learn that information. Jane Antler says, in Eastern European countries, if we take a look at Russia, fashion plays a huge role in people's lives as it sends a public statement to present oneself as an outstanding and unique individual. I'm not Russian, Jane, so I can't say yourself because then it's me, but I'm Canadian, okay? So again, students, with the you, yourself, the second person voice, try to avoid that in the IELTS exam, both in the speaking and in the writing task too. Okay, it doesn't work well in communication. We do it in natural language, but it doesn't work well, so stay away from it. Jane, I just asked about your country, not Eastern European countries in general. So if you're Russian and you're living in Russia, just talk about Russia. So in Russia, fashion plays a huge role in people's lives and serves as a public statement to present oneself as an outstanding and unique individual. This is why I like to wear some colorful hats, because it shows people my fun personality. Right, Jane? Something like that. Okay? A little bit more specific, a little bit more vibrant, colorful. Bell and Mom says, of course, fashion in Indonesia is really important, especially for certain people. Usually Indonesians these days judge someone based on their fashion and physical appearance. Okay, good. Yeah. Although fashion is important to some Canadians, mostly people living in Canada think about comfort first and are often unfashionable, just wearing a t-shirt and sweatpants. Okay, I thought I'd give you an original kind of funny response to that, which is actually very true. So if you travel around Canada, certainly in some places, downtown Toronto, Vancouver, you'll see some people that are wearing some really fancy clothing. But in many parts of Canada, you will find girls and guys alike just wearing some very casual clothes. Outside of teenagers, of course, for teenagers, fashion is always important. Although fashion is important to some Canadians, mostly people living in Canada think about comfort first and are often unfashionable, just wearing a t-shirt and sweatpants. If you go to Canada, you'll probably agree with me on that. Okay? All right. Here we go. Next question. How has fashion changed since you were a child? Now, notice, students, that these questions are kind of getting more and more difficult as we go along in part one. And that is how the speaking section works, just like the other sections of the exam. As you progress, the questions do get a little bit more complex. You have to think about them more. They require a greater knowledge of vocabulary and grammar to express yourself clearly. How has fashion changed since you were a child? Hadi says, yes, absolutely changed. Hadi, right away you lose marks because you should be using a present perfect, but you're not. So Hadi, change that to yes, it has absolutely changed. Okay, immediately show me the present perfect. Okay, so yes, absolutely it has changed. When I was a child, people tended to wear classical clothes. However, nowadays, their desire has become more for comfortable and cool clothing, as I just mentioned previously. I like how you reflect back on what you talked about. That's good. Just watch your present perfect, and then you'll save yourself some band scores. Okay. Juan Pablo is paying attention to that, certainly. Juan Pablo says, fashion has changed thanks to technology. Nowadays, fashion businesses have much more access to materials and fabrication processes than 20 years ago. I know a small business that makes its own accessories, Juan Pablo? I don't know that word, accesso, but maybe it's just some new part of fashion I'm unfamiliar with. Okay. Shivani says, I was born in the 20th century and fashion has changed a lot since then. Now in the 21st century, people are more concerned about brand clothes, which people were not that much into in earlier times, like Nike, Adidas, and so on. Yeah, okay, certainly. So, indeed, fashion has undergone a lot of change since my childhood in the 90s. I remember back then, baggy clothes were the fad, but these days, it seems to be quite the opposite, and I see most people wearing tight clothing, like tight jeans and shirts. Okay, that's my answer. Let's have a repeat. So repeat after me. Again, how has fashion changed since you were a child? Oh, indeed, fashion has undergone a lot of change since my childhood in the 90s. I remember back then, baggy clothes were the fad, but these days it seems to be quite the opposite, and I see most people wearing tight clothing, like tight jeans and shirts. Okay? All right. It's true. I don't know about other parts of the world, but definitely in Canada, US, we used to wear baggy clothes, like 3 of us could fit into one pair of pants. These days, people wear really tight clothes, like half of them has difficulty fitting into the pants. So kind of interesting. One day it's baggy clothes, the next day it's really tight clothes. Who knows why? All right, there are some good answers that have come up. I saw a few. But unfortunately, students, we are running out of time. So I will leave these last 2 questions for you to answer. Record on your phone, send them to me in an MP3 format. I will let you know what band level your speaking is at. Here's question, where do you like to go for buying clothes? And the last one, if you could have any piece of clothing, what would it be and why? You can record those on your phones in MP3, please, and send them to my email at Adrian, Adrian, at aehelp.com. Again, students, if you want the best in the IELTS learning world online, join our premium courses by clicking the red buttons, gieltshelp.com for general IELTS and aehelp.com for academic. Click that red button. If you have the academic, download our app, Academic IELTS Help. Look for the shield in your app store and link your web account with your app account so you can use them in combination. Also, students, remember what I said. Check out that new video Okay? And you will see some great examples, not just for part 1, but also for part 2 and 3 of how to give details, give specific answers, and use complex language. Search for our latest release of HD video on the channel. You'll see Arav, an Indian speaker who is fantastic. Thank you, students, for working so hard, being in the class. I wish you a great rest of the day, and hopefully I will see you in tomorrow's class. Bye for now. Raz for you, Hikmatillo, Jancy, Abi, you're most welcome. Much love to all of you. Keep up the good studies.